Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I have to tell you, I find this incredibly fascinating. I keep finding more and more examples of this, so I'll keep sharing it with you. I think that you'll find it just as fascinating as I do. But look, having been in crypto for almost 7 years at this point, I can tell you that there are certain crypto media outlets that just love saying nonsense stuff about XRP, in some instances blatantly lying about it, and the technology, the ecosystem, so on and so forth. And even outside of that, they love to publish stories with negative sentiment, even if it doesn't make sense to do so. For examples would be a CoinDesk, aka FUDdesk, also Cointelegraph, and AMB Crypto. And so they're still doing that, don't get me wrong, they're still regularly publishing stuff like that. But I've now found 2 of the 3 in recent days that have highlighted XRP in a positive light, and they finally are acknowledging what we have been talking about for at least in the entire 2024 calendar year, which is that XRP is incredibly primed. It may have been literally yesterday I highlighted an example from Cointelegraph. Now I have a new one from AMB Crypto. AMB Crypto does not like to write positive stuff about XRP. I mean, was it my very last video, literally, where I was talking about the nonsense? Well, I know I did yesterday for sure, too. I think I highlighted it again in my last video, where they're literally misleading people by making them think that, there's all sorts of dumping that's going to come towards XRP with, whales transferring XRP to exchanges, all while showing data to the contrary in their own article. It's a whole mess. So they're still doing that stuff. But even they are posting positive articles here. And so I'm going to run through this. The headline here from AMB Crypto: XRP's path to new all-time high, why a repeat of 2017 could be the key. So there you go, the path forward. And in this article, they are literally arguing for that and saying, yes, it's plausible XRP to hit a new all-time high, enter price discovery, and it's for reasons that we have been talking about the whole time. They're finally validating what we've been saying and what the chart analysts in our community, and outside of our community for that matter, have been saying about what is likely to occur for XRP. Finally, they're admitting some of this. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so it was nice to see Monday had a bit of an uptick, right? In fact, just a couple nights ago, there's this post from Credible Crypto, which it was a little cryptic. He wrote, "Credible senses are tingling for the first time in a very long time." And in subsequent posts he did kind of confirm what he meant by that. And so what I was supposing was indeed the case. He was thinking that we were about to see some relief for Bitcoin, which we certainly have, including the stock market. Asset classes move in tandem. And in this case, they did on the very same day. Although they don't necessarily have to, but they very frequently do. And so we have seen that, and I've seen from all sorts of analysts a lot of optimism here. Not an expectation that we're going to see some additional precipitous moves to the downside where Bitcoin hits $40,000 or some sort of nonsense like that. In fact, here's a post from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto. It's a Bitcoin USD chart, and he wrote, "Bitcoin weekly relative strength index has approached a level that experienced a macro bottom in Q3 2023. And so, very obviously, the reason that he's highlighting this is because when we were at this level where I'm circling right now in the RSI, you can argue we were a bit oversold for that moment in time. He's saying we're back to the same level that we were at that moment in time, a level that resulted in propulsion to the upside. And indeed, that was the case for the end part of 2023 and the early part of 2024. It was a lot of fun. It was a very long time period where there was lots of activity in crypto. And as fun as that was, blow off top going to be a lot more fun when we finally get there. And so it doesn't mean that we're literally tomorrow or next week going to see a blast off. I'm more optimistic, once we get through the month of September, because fourth quarter historically is just fantastic for stocks and crypto. But point being, we are in the zone where even if it drags on for like another couple weeks, so the remainder of the month, or even at the beginning part of October, whatever, if we're going to be in these conditions where we're basically oversold, okay. Not going to stay there forever, though. There's also this post from chart analyst Crypto Michael, and he simply said, and so mind you, this was last night, so this is after we saw that Monday was a pretty green day, which is nice to see some relief. But he wrote, The recent dump was very effective at shaking people out. That was the intention. Whales know this bull flag will break up. BlackRock bought your bags at the bottom. If you held, you will reap the rewards with the big boys. If you sold, this game ain't for you. And I gotta tell you, folks, I agree with that concept. That's why most people are best suited to just buy and just forget about it and make it and force yourself to be hands up. And I'm not telling you what to do. You listening, it's not financial advice. I'm just saying I think that it's my belief that most investors, if they took such an approach, they'd fare well if they just have a sufficient amount of time they're willing to invest, a span of years. And it clearly works in the stock market. You know, before I jumped into crypto, I was already taking that approach to the stock market. It just works. The people that don't tinker with their investments, they let time pass, it becomes worth a fortune. That's it. And it's not to say that crypto is exactly the same. There are different risks, so on and so forth. But I'm just saying that that type of approach, it broadly works, having exposure to the asset class. There's also this post from Charting Guy. He said, this is just in the afternoon, he said yesterday, Bitcoin and crypto across the board possibly just made its first higher low since March. We need a higher high over late August highs to confirm this uptrend. Okay, so we'll keep monitoring that, but wouldn't mind seeing that. And there are a lot of analysts that are anticipating that will indeed be proven to be the case. So certainly looking forward to see that. There's also, I'm just going to briefly mention this. I talked about this the other day, and then about 24 hours later, the Crypto Basic ended up, I'm not saying because of me, but the Crypto Basic did end up making an entire article about this. Here it is, XRP on verge of huge surge as Bollinger Bands keep squeezing month after month. And they were sharing perspective from an XRP community member who goes by the name The Great Matsby. And I literally happened to mention this just like 24 hours before they posted this thing. So I just thought I'd highlight it because it is a good point. It's an excellent point. And for those that may not have seen it, I first started talking about this when the chart analyst brought it up in our community in April of this year. Bollinger Bands at that point, the tightest in history. And when they get tight, that just means that you're inevitably going to see a break, probably not too far into the distant future. And although it doesn't tell you in and of itself whether the break will be to the upside or downside, the tighter they get, the greater the force you should expect when they finally do break. And so even in April, they were the tightest they'd been in history, even tighter than in 2017 when we saw that 80,000% bull run from the bottom to the top anyway. Even tighter than that right now. But in April specifically is what I was referencing. But the cool thing is, since then, the Bollinger Bands have just gotten tighter consistently for almost half a year now, even from that point. It's pick a metric, folks. I don't see how people could not be optimistic here. It's just, and no one thing that I cite is the end all be all. But as days and weeks and months go by, I'm trying anyway, to paint a picture of what's going on. Because if you're following along and you can see all of the pieces, you can see how they build upon one another and how they complement each other and how it results in it being reasonable to believe that what is most probable is that when this market goes, assuming we do have it, XRP is going to melt some freaking faces. That's the point. Now, as far as what I was referencing at the outset of the video, oh yeah, the XRP hating crypto media outlets, they're coming around begrudgingly. I mean, I can only imagine the amount of pain they feel actually publishing posts, media stories that paint XRP in a positive light, including in terms of potential price action. And so there was a Cointelegraph article I highlighted the other day in which they cited that XRP, frankly, looks like it could actually hit a new all-time high, and I think they cited as high as $4.20. And it's funny because the article on your screen now from the Crypto Basic, which is titled XRP set to surge 692%, latest technical analysis predicts rise to $4.20. They're actually writing an article about that Cointelegraph article, which I thought was kind of funny. So I wanted to highlight it, but I'm glad they did. I'm very glad that they did. And this is the image that Cointelegraph shared. And so they're showing a symmetrical triangle going back to the peak of the last market cycle, 2021, when XRP was at $2. And so they're just showing it going back a few years. And a lot of analysts do that to make a point on a specific time frame. That's fine. And Cointelegraph did that. And they went on to say, hey, XRP, yeah, really could propel to over $4, $4.20. And frankly, even that, I mean, if it's going to go, I don't know what's going to go. I'm not going to make a price prediction. I don't know what's going to happen with XRP price. But I can't help but wonder if that's a bit conservative compared to where it would be. Can you blame me, though? I mean, You're talking about consolidating for 7 years and not getting a twofold increase from the previous all-time high, not even a 2x. I mean, okay. I mean, maybe that happens, but I'm a bit skeptical. But I think it's. I'll just say I will not be surprised if it goes higher. I'll just say it like that. But the truth is, so again, Cointelegraph, glad it's positive. Glad they're saying, hey, it looks like it really could hit a new all-time high. And as far as the symmetrical triangle here, and we're reaching the apex of this damn thing, like all of the analysts that I follow that chart XRP have their own version of this. It's either the same or similar, and a lot of them will pull back to, you know, the all-time high at the beginning of 2018. So I've been screaming about this on my channel for all of this year, and I'm sure parts of last year as well, and who knows, intermittently other times as well, as we're reaching this point, because you can't range forever. But we've known this. Finally, the crypto media that doesn't like the XRP community and XRP, even they're acknowledging it. Maybe, I don't know if they're doing it so that they don't look like fools when it finally breaks, although, let's be real, if you're paying attention, you already know their stance on this stuff, because they are heavily biased. Oh my God, they're biased. It could not be more obvious. But still, it's refreshing to see this. And that brings us to the brand new one here from AMB Crypto, which I was showing you at the outset of the video. XRP's path to new all-time high. Why a repeat of 2017 could be the key. And look, I'm glad they're doing this. I mean, they talk like some mad smack about XRP, and they paint some really BS bad narratives, but they're right on this one. Check it out. XRP is consolidating. Oh, you don't say. Well, it's been doing that for almost 7 freaking years, and everybody who's intellectually honest on social media and watches this stuff, we've all been talking about this. We are aware of this. So again, I'm glad they're doing it. I'm glad they're doing it. Kind of burns my biscuits a little bit. Can you blame me? Anyway, so they wrote, while last week was somewhat of a setback for XRP investors as the token's price plummeted by 5%, the coming days might be different. This was the case as a long-term bullish symmetrical triangle appeared on the token's chart. Oh, it just appeared like out of nowhere. It wasn't there. And then AMB Crypto, they just found it. It's just out of thin air. Look at this symmetrical triangle we found. I didn't even know we had this thing. Oh, wow. Bitch, it's been there for 7 years. God damn it. This is why we can't have nice things. A popular crypto analyst posted a tweet revealing this pattern. To be precise, the pattern emerged in 2018. Oh, so it has been there for a hot minute. It emerged in 2018, and since then, the token's price has been consolidating inside it. It was interesting to note that a similar pattern appeared on the token's chart back in 2015. Folks, oh my God, where's all this truth coming from? I thought that AMB Crypto, they couldn't do this with XRP. Where's this truth coming from? Did they like lose it? Did they leave it in the pocket and then it went in like the washer and the dryer and they just found it in the pocket after it's been folded and put back in the drawer? Where the hell was it? Where was this truth? How'd they do this? But look at this. They actually do show the symmetrical triangle leading up to that. I mean, for before the 2017 blast off. It's happened before, folks. This is just longer version of that. Anyway, piece continues. During that time, XRP managed a bullish breakout in 2017, allowing the token to reach an all-time high in the coming months. Therefore, if history repeats itself, then investors might once again witness a similar episode of XRP reaching new highs over the coming months. Oh, you don't say. I mean, do you think that this like physically pains them to write this positive stuff about XRP? I can only imagine. They're wincing. They're like, I can only imagine the sounds coming out of their stupid face holes. What do you think it's like? Anyway, they continue. The token at press time was testing the support of the bull pattern, and a successful test could allow the token to begin its journey towards the resistance. Since the chances of a bullish breakout were high, as suggested by history, folks, oh my God, they're just, they're right. I'm happy to see, I'm happy to see it. It's so obvious. It's just after all of the stuff that I've read from them. And they're like, yeah, well, history suggests, I know, bitch. What the hell your problem is? God damn. I can't help but laugh, man. I really can't help but laugh. I know, that is what history suggests. I'm well aware. I talk about it a lot. Since, I'm sorry, I think it's funny. I really do think it's funny. Since the chances of a bullish breakout were high, as suggested by the history, AMB Crypto checked the token's on-chain data. Well, that's a good idea. As per our analysis of Santiment's data, Folks, who else highlights Santiment all the time because they do good work? That would be Moon Lambo. They do excellent work on-chain data analytics. Absolutely. They're intellectually honest. And so finally, they took a look at what Santiment's showing. It's just data. Don't be afraid of data. So they say, as per our analysis of Santiment's data, XRP's trading volume fell along with its price during the last few days. And folks, of course, the entire asset class did that, to be clear. Anyway, additionally, its open interest followed a similar declining trend. Generally, a drop in open interest indicates a trend reversal, which in this case was a bullish signal. Right, as people get washed out, that's exactly correct. Open interest drop, reduction in leverage, cleanse the palate, sure. And then they write, in fact, investors' confidence in XRP also seemed to have risen slightly over the last week as the total amount of holders increased and reached 5.3 million. Yes! Are you an XRP community member now? Because holy hell, I mean, I'll welcome you to the community. Like, come on in. The water's nice and warm. I've been saying that freaking forever. In 2017, when I jumped into the community, when I first joined, back in 2017, almost 7 years, there were fewer than 700,000 XRP accounts, and AMB Crypto correctly points out there are now over 5.3 million, and by the way, it's been trending up consistently despite the SEC attack for the whole time, almost 7 years, and here we are in a freaking bull market. What do you think happens next? And the whales have been accumulating for months now. They've been accumulating. While people are panic selling, the whales behave differently. They do the opposite. They purchase your fear. Everything is perfectly lining up. So I admit I don't know what's going to happen with XRP price, but I will also tell you I have strong convictions and suspicions about directionally and what's going to happen, and I have an idea that the scale of which, when the market does move to the upside, assuming that is what happens, it will be dramatic for XRP. That's my conviction. And we'll find out if I'm wrong to have that conviction, but I have it. I firmly believe that this is going to be life-changing for a lot of us. And I'm here for it, folks. I am patiently waiting. I swear I mean this, I am just as patient today as I was when I first jumped into crypto. Holding XRP, I am just, because that's what it takes to invest. You need to have a truly long-term mindset. Same with the stock market. You invest for decades and decades and decades, and you don't worry about the downs. The ups are going to come too. And that's the approach I take. It is, like, it's required. If you're going to find success here, you have to have that level of patience. We're going to get ours, though. I don't think we're going to have to wait that much longer. That's my guess. So isn't it funny to see this stuff? So for fun, I'll keep highlighting this stuff as it pops up and talking about it. So that means out of the three that most frequently write nonsense, and there's more than three, but out of the three that really kind of grind my gears the most, CoinDesk is the worst probably. Then maybe Cointelegraph and AMB, they're about even, the other two. So two of the three that I've cited here have already written, yeah, looks like XRP could actually hit a new all-time high. You don't say. I just want to see when we get something like that from CoinDesk. I'll make an entire damn video about that thing. If that ever comes into existence, I will absolutely make an entire video about that, because that will be delightful. That will be tasty. Put it on your palate, bitch. It's going to be a good time. Now, I don't know if they're going to do it. They hate themselves some XRP, I'll tell you that. But if Cointelegraph and AMB can come around, who knows? And we are in a bull market, and if they don't, they're just going to look that much more silly when there's this whole history of nonsense FUD articles and how XRP is looking weak, and then it just goes. Save some face and just write the positive article, CoinDesk. We'll still hate you, though. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.